You've heard the term care less or talk less or just don't give a damn or just be yourself. We've all heard those quotes, but we have never known what's the point of hearing all of this. In this video, I'll show you how you can actually care less and what to not care for. You'll see that everyone is showcasing themselves. Everyone is proving to themselves that they are someone who they're not. And that's something called ego. The ego is basically that you tell yourself that you are someone or something that you aren't. It could work sometimes, but if you use this ego as a weapon, unfortunately, it will negatively affect you. Because if you tell yourself that I am this person or I'm that kind of person, and you don't act like them, then you will never be this kind of person. That's why I've made a around 16-minute long video on how you can change your identity to become the person that you want to be. Forget ego. This is actual identity change. You are going to be that person once you implement what I taught you in that video. And there is something important that I need to tell you. 90% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed, and most people on my social media doesn't even follow. You see, I'm doing these videos so I can benefit you. So if you want to help your brother out, I will really truly appreciate it. Just a like, just a subscribe. It's all for free. You just support me and it means so much to me. Back to the video. If you go outside and watch movies and you're kind of a social person, you'll realize that the more you have, the more fulfilled you will be. This is the biggest lie life has ever thrown at you. You see, if you want more, you will care more about things that doesn't even relate to your life. Like it's just there so it can distract you. You see, there are things in life that are there to distract you. Then you realize that it's a distraction, and then you get back on track. Like for example, if you're 22 or you're 23, you realize that when you were a kid, you cared so much about games. But when you grow up, you now realize that it's actually a waste of time. Now you don't even care about games. It's because that care inside you that you had when you were a child has faded when you grew up, and now you realized that it's actually something that wastes your time. So having more doesn't mean fulfillment and happiness. Having more means more complicated things that you're getting yourself into, more problems, more things that I have to solve. Then what should I care for? What is something that I should keep my mind on and I should give it my fullest care, my fullest attention? And those three things: God, your financial stability, and your family. Other than that, you are a perfect person. And you might say to yourself, then from those three, where am I? Yeah, where am I? Yeah. When I say God, you're treating yourself spiritually a 10 out of 10 treatment. And when I say financial fulfillment, you're saving yourself from an anxiety. You're gonna have a family one day. You don't want to face the hardship of having a low financial income. Being financially stable will help you be more mentally clean. And finally, our family. Family is going to help you learn more. Better therapy, of course, you can talk to them. And most importantly, people who you can actually trust. You see, there are people who've been misleaded and misguided when they were young, that they just grew up not trusting anyone. Just realize that there are people in this life who could actually sacrifice for you. There are people here who could love you without any returns. But what is better is that if you keep in mind that relying on yourself is the best. You see, there is a law that I always use, is that I think of the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that my family betrayed me, which is if it's a 0.00001% chance that it will happen, I will still not trust this chance. As long as it's not 100%, I'm not gonna trust it. But the person who is 100% going to stay with you in your fullest hardship is you. You are 100% going to solve any problems that you are getting faced off. So it's better off for me to care about this person. Not saying that you shouldn't trust your family. Obviously, your father, the only person in this world who wants you to be the absolute best, and your mother, the only person in this world who will want you to be the safest, the happiest, the richest, the sweetest. Your mother, of course, your mother and your father, you should trust them. But I'm saying in general, trusting yourself is better than trusting others. But if you care so much about any of these three things that I've just mentioned, you realize that you will not have a fulfilled life because you have overly cared for them. If you cared about the afterlife way too much, about God and the judgment day and heaven and hell, if you care about it way, way, way too much, you won't live life, and you will just have that mindset that since we're dying anyway, then why would I commit to this kind of commitment? Keep in mind that God in the Bible or in the Quran itself, it said to also care about life, not just the afterlife. Secondly, if you care too much about your financial stability, you realize that you will spend the rest of your life just working and working and working and being a slave for someone who you don't even respect. Know your expenses, and before you get yourself in anything that relates to money, not rent, not debt, nothing, before you even get yourself in a relationship, just keep in mind financial stability is important. It is something essential. So I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna be financially stable, then I can look for other commitments. And finally, I'm speaking from experience, by the way. If you care way too much about family, you'll realize that you've made every family member happy and fulfilled, but you are the only one who's not fulfilled. Why? Is because you've made them so fulfilled by sacrificing your own fulfillment. You see, if you can't speak up, you will lose your moment. If you hesitate, your moment will move on. If I'm tired, if I got cramps, if I got a headache, and my family tells me to clean the house, for example, yeah, of course I have to help them. Of course, but doesn't mean I have to be their slave. I'm also a human being. There are times where I'm tired, there are times where I don't feel like doing things. Where I'm telling you that you should do it anyway, but don't be a slave. You see, when your family tells you to cook, for example, you might actually cook, but which meal will you mostly fall short with? Yours, your own meal. And you will make sure that every family member has the absolute best food that you have ever cooked. But the one who could have raw meat is you. Just know that. Like you can make like pasta or spaghetti to your family and just expect that you might actually have just a boiled egg for dinner. So the more you want from life, the less fulfilled and happy you will be. If you are a confident person, you don't need evidence so you can show other people that you are confident. And trust me when I say this, I've read so many books about life, and all of them led to the same thing. The more you care about life, the more difficult it will be. The more you will sweat, the more you will bleed, the more you will be so exhausted, the more depressed you will be. Just only care God, financial stability, your, your family. That's it. And if I've ever been faced by hardship, just keep in mind, just another day of life. Since life is all about hardship and suffering, then why am I surprised that I've been faced by hardship? People don't follow their own advice. They keep saying, yeah, life is hard, life is so exhausting, and once they get into hardship, that's when they're ripping their shirt, complaining every single day. And just know this is just life, brother. This is just life. You gotta know that you will go through this hardship whether you like it or not. And you're going to solve it eventually. So why yap about it all day? Just zip your lip and just deal with it. Life is all about solving the problems. And trust me, the most dangerous people learn from this. The most dangerous people learn exactly what to care for. If you cared about any of these three, if I told you that one of those, for example, let's say financial stability, getting your work done, I promise you, you will not even acknowledge how you feel because you don't care how you feel. The most important thing is getting the work done. This is what I care for. I don't care what I feel. So imagine working without feelings. You are unstoppable. If you care about something that is important, no matter what gets in front of it, you will be cross it and you will achieve it. No matter if you're crawling, exhausted, tired, whatever you feel, you will get it done. Because what's important is not how I feel, what's important is how I'm getting there. And just a last tip before I end this video. If you've been faced by hardship, whatever it is, emotional, physical, whatever, you should identify three things: the what, the why, and the how. The what is, what am I suffering from? What is the hardship? What is hurting me? What made me feel this kind of way? There are times where you have to listen to your emotions. Something like someone dying or a breakup. If you just step on your feelings and you don't acknowledge them, they will build up inside you and then you will eventually explode in people who never even been involved. But when it comes to work, step on your feelings as if they don't even exist. So again, what is my problem? Why did I feel this? What made me feel this kind of emotion? What made me go through this kind of hardship? And why do we need the why? Is because now you will not go through the same trap again. And finally, the how. How can I solve it? This is the simplest, honestly. You just talk to yourself and you just tell to yourself, how can I solve this issue? Keep in mind, when you think of how to solve an issue, think of the long term. The long term of the action that's going to solve the problem. Not it will solve it today and it might occur again later. So if you've been in like a breakup, just don't drink, just don't drink, don't take drugs, just rely on your feelings, just listen to your feelings. If you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like angry and you're beating the hell out of your pillow, just do that. Just listen to your emotions, but don't do anything that's going to hurt you in the future. And if you want to know a mindset that is really really dangerous, so something that's gonna put you off limits, if you've ever been faced by anything that doesn't satisfy you, keep in mind that there is no point of suffering from it. Since I'm dying anyway, why would I complain? Why would I desire to suicide? Why would I be depressed? Why would I be anxious and sad for my failure and my mistakes? Since I'm dying anyway, why am I sad? Why am I depressed? But keep in mind, you have to take the actions that is going to make you achieve this kind of goal. When I say this, people always ask me, since I'm dying anyway, then why would I work hard? Why would I have so much ambition, so much goals? Keep in mind that I would rather die in a throne with a crown in my head and people who have inspired and changed their life than to sit in a couch with the chips in my hand and I'm overly weight and I have obesity and whatever kind of disease it is, and I just die in that couch alone with no one. Not even parents. Use this mindset only when it comes to problems because it will turn off the emotion when you are dealing with the problem. And as always, focus on only yourself because the only one who will save you is you.